Hello and welcome to part 3 of this mini-series on manipulating side relations and anything to do with sides in Arma 3. In this part of the mini-series we're going to be going over how we can change the relation between sides. So for example how to make Blue 4 and Op 4 friendly with each other, or to make Indy 4 and civilians enemy, etc, etc. So this isn't specific to players, this is changing the whole side of a faction. So for example, if we had a platoon of Blue 4 units and one group of Red 4 units and you change the relation, it's going to change all of them, not just individual units. So the best place to do this is in somewhere like the init.sqf, or you can also put it in an individual script, which you can get off of my GitHub, link in the description. And you can essentially call the script whenever you want to change the relations between sides if you don't already have the option in Zeus, or maybe you want to do it through scripting so that you don't rely on Zeus or having to sit there and watch the mission. You can actually join in yourself. So it's really easy how we do this. I'm just going to drag my script over here. So all we have to do is use the setFriend function. Now how this works is you essentially, your first parameter over here is going to be what side you want to change. So we want to change the west side, we want to make them a friend of, and then the resistance is just Indy 4. And then we have a number from 0 to 1, 0 being enemy, 1 being friendly, and then anything below 0.6 is enemy, I believe. So for example, if we wanted to change, let's say an Op 4 group, so let's just spawn one in. Let's say we wanted to make them friendly with West, which is what I am, so they shouldn't shoot with me. I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to paste this in my init box, but it doesn't really matter where you put it. So now, if I teleport here, there we go, you can see I'm not getting shot at, and I can go right in front of them or whatever. But if I go back and I use my other one, which sets the score to 0, you can see that when I teleport here, there we go, they start shooting at me. It took a while there. But yeah, so that's literally it. It's that simple. And obviously we can change it between independent, civilian, west, east, whatever you want it to be. In terms of knowing the names of each faction to change, there are a couple different ways of calling them. Personally, I just go with east, west. So east is Op 4, west is Blue 4. Then civilian is just spelled as you'd expect it to be spelled, all lowercase for civies. And then independent, which is the Indy 4, I would literally just spell that as it is spelt, just like that. So for example, if we wanted to make independent enemy to civilians, we could do this, and I'm just going to paste this into my person over here. Obviously you can do this at any point and it will save the opinions or relations early on. So we've got an Indy 4 group here. I'm going to spawn a civvy, and you should see that they are enemy of the civilian. Now obviously because he's a civvy and he's unarmed, they're not going to shoot him, so they're going to kind of try to arrest him, for example. So obviously as a civilian they won't engage me, but if for example I change to Blue 4, and at the moment Blue 4 is friendly to independent, so then if we change this to west, and then I just put this in here, you should see that they will engage me now, or they should do anyway. There we go. So yeah, one thing to consider if you're putting this in your scripts and stuff is it sometimes does take a little while for the AI to recognize the relation change. So that's one thing to consider. But yeah, I hope you found this tutorial helpful. In the next one, we're going to be looking at how you can adjust the rating of individual units, so that maybe if you want a player to be recognized as committing war crimes, and maybe to then be personally against Blue 4 units but not Op 4, things like that, how we can get a little bit more in depth with it, I'll be going over in the next part. See you then.